Alright, so the tank pretty much finished filling up around 2 in the morning, but I decided to wait and make the video now while I was actually, had a little bit of coherentness to me. Yeah, I'm really excited, real happy we got water in it. The next step is going to be to get salt into the tank. Now that everything's up and running, everything's adjusted. I did have an issue with some micro bubbles, but I think I've pretty much eliminated that, not for sure. Not a big deal right now, but later on I'm sure it will be. Yeah, I just got a little pump in here to help circulate some water because I don't have my vortex on here yet, since they're still running on that tank way over there. But yeah, so
alright, so we'll go ahead and let's let you see what else is going on here. Currently I'm cleaning out my chiller. This chiller hasn't been cleaned for some time. Last time I cleaned it was when I had it hooked up to my 60-gallon, and I didn't put it away properly. I just drained the water out and that was it. You got an output on here as well as an input for water. So basically what's going on here is I have a pump in the bucket that's forcing water through the chiller, and it's dumping back in the bucket. And what I did was I put several cups of distilled vinegar in here to help clean out the calcium deposits, whatever kind of little pieces of calcareous algae or parts of animals that could be stuck inside. And I'm just going to let it run this way for a couple hours and it should be good to go. So let's go ahead and I'll show you the underside of the tank. As you can see, most of the tank is set up underneath here, configuration wise. The tank is essentially up and running. I've got the heater hooked up, I've got my return pumps, my chiller pump, skimmers going. I've got pretty much everything ready to go. What I will do is I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a rundown, pretty much a close-up of everything that's happening. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around and enjoy. Got a lot of new pieces of equipment underneath here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Alright, so here we are, we're back. I'll give you a close-up of everything that's going on here so far. Over here on the right, all these tags. The top PC4 is all my lighting. The one below it is all my pumps. I've got my chiller on this bottom PC4, my return pump, my skimmer pump, as well as the pump for the chiller. Take a look down here. Here are the ballasts. Kind of like how they sit over here. They're off to the side. I'll probably try and come up with something for that. Maybe make it a little bit neater, some kind of cover, prevent any kind of splashing. Got my pH probe. I still haven't calibrated it yet. I'm just waiting until I get salt and everything like that into the tank. Here's a reactor that I was just kind of mocking up, seeing if I like the spot. What it is this one I'm just using to kind of see where it would fit nicely and what I like and don't like. The actual one I'm going to use is actually on the 28-gallon JBJ right now. So I'll come up here, you can see the wiring. I still need to address this wiring, but the wiring up here is all nice and tightly wound. Got some cable wraps, ties on all this. Went ahead and replaced the clear tubing with black tubing. just to prevent algae buildup. This was always my intention, but I used to clear temporarily until I could find some black and get that installed, so I've got it in here now. It's kind of nice, this tubing is kind of pliable, so your pump will just sit nice and flat. Behind this pump, you're going to see is another pump. That's a Mag 7. That's running my chiller. Ran it through this hole up here for now. It just kind of works out nicely. If I end up having heating issues or humidity issues in the stand, which I don't think I will, I'll end up putting a fan, but as for now I don't. So as you can see, it just runs through, comes around over here to my chiller. And the chiller is plumbed up behind the tank here. It just runs up to right here and over and in right there. So let's get back down here to the rest of the sump. This side I tend to, on this PC4, I intend to run all my lower voltage stuff like my heaters, my MP10s will be hooked up here, my auto top off, and then I just have another PC4 that's kind of vacant. It's off right now. Right here, sit on top of the skimmer, is my SID. Just temporarily, it's not staying here because I've just been playing around with the software, just labeling everything. Just on the front here I have my temp, my pH, and just the amp draw, because I am running off 3 outlets from the wall, so I'm just trying to monitor and make sure I don't get too much of a load. But so far, with all the big stuff, metal halides, everything else running, I'm still pretty low. When the chiller does kick on, it'll jump at another 6, so we'll just have to see how that does. Yeah, I just went through and labeled everything. I've got PC4 right 1, right 2, which is the low one, left 1, and this is left 2. But yeah, I just went through and labeled everything. My metal halides, lunar LEDs, actinics and stuff, just so I kind of keep track of everything. It's pretty nice. As well as down here too, my chiller, return skimmer, chiller pump, so it makes it really, really easy to just turn stuff on and off. And then as for now, I'm gonna have my top off on this other one on the left side, PC4, and you see my dreams. Here I've got MP40s, which is what I really want, but they'll be MP10s for now. You got to visualize what you want. It really helps you get it. And of course the other one there, but so yeah, this is the first time I've really got into the software and playing around with it and everything it can do, and I'm really impressed with all the different options. So go ahead and come over here. Here's the side. This is what's kind of nice about the stand, you can just get access from all the sides. What I've got going on here is, I've got my union and everything. I decided to put in a filter sock, but I also have the stand pipe inside, a little pipe inside there, because this thing was just throwing so much bubbles and everything else that the pump for my skimmer was cavitating. So this sump is pretty cramped, but it does work. It's very efficient. So besides that, I've got the skimmer here. I may need to raise it up just a little bit because the gate valve is just below the water line. Up here In this section is where I'm going to mount my controllers for the MP10s, as well as I may mount the SID in here. Not for sure, but I may do that. But yeah, that's what that space is going to be for, primarily for the Vortec drivers. As far as flow through the sump, I've got pretty good turnover through it, as you can see. We've got a lot of water coming through. This is the baffle, and you can see the water's like about 2/3 of the way up, so it's a lot of good water turnover. I positioned the sump, perfectly here to where the refugium isn't obstructed from view or the turn side, so it's nice, it just fits perfectly. I like it. I've got a 9.5 mag drive and a 7, both returning directly to the display. So I've got some really good turnover through the sump, which should be plenty for the skimmer.
Alright, so that's going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks everyone for watching. For those of you that stuck through it all, many more updates still to come. And as always, enjoy your tanks and happy reefing.